Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Calm with Carlin, yoga and meditation for your everyday life. Today we have yoga for the head, neck, and shoulders. We're getting into the holidays. This time of year is really exciting, but can also be really stressful, especially if you are in school, you're dealing with finals and those kinds of things. Financial stress comes around the holidays, family stress, all the stress. So a lot of times we tend to store that stress in our head, neck, and shoulders, in our upper bodies, and we get really tight. So this is just a really quick class for you to get on your mat and just let go of some of that stress through some stretching and some breathing, really targeting the upper body here. There's not a ton of weight bearing in this class, so it's really accessible to most people. I encourage you to just take what you can and know that everything I offer is just a suggestion. We're going to get started seated comfortably on our mats, so I will see you there whenever you're ready. Find your comfortable seat. I am choosing a cross-legged seat, but you could always sit on your shins or with your legs out in front of you even, if that would feel better for you. So in this comfortable seat, just making sure that your spine is nice and long and tall. Your chin is tucked just ever so slightly to your chest. Crown of the head is reaching up as the seat presses down firmly into the ground beneath you. Rooting down to lift up, becoming grounded in this space. We'll begin by taking 3 cleansing breaths together, letting go of anything that we may have brought to the mat today. And just know that it can be scary to let go of things that are on our mind, things that are stressful, especially when they're important. So just know that you don't have to let go completely, but at least put it off to the side for these next 10 minutes or so. Take a deep breath in, fill up the belly, the chest, and the lungs. Pause at the top, hold the breath, and even see if you can sip in just a bit more breath. And then exhale, let it go, sigh it out. Nice audible sigh as you listen to the breath leaving the body. Can watch all of that tension and stress follow. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale deeply. Hold and breathe in a bit more. Exhale, let go. One more time. Inhale. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, let go. If you close the eyes, you can go ahead and blink the eyes open here. We'll get into our stretches. I'm gonna move up a bit just because I'm near the wall and I need a bit more space. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your back. As you squeeze the shoulder blades together, really lift up through the chest, getting nice and proud, feeling the shoulders starting to open, feeling the chest open. Maybe even tilt the crown, the back of your head rather, back just ever so slightly, just a couple centimeters even, to stretch out that front part of the neck, really in the throat area, something that we neglect often. Take one more inhale here. And on your exhale, keeping the hands interlaced, go ahead and bring the hands over towards the right lower back, or if you can get them there, maybe they come all the way towards the right side of the body, right underneath that right oblique. And then from here, if you want a little bit more, you're already pulling the shoulder down with this reach towards the right side. Maybe you gently take the right ear towards the right shoulder and feel the left side of the neck stretching out even more. Now, stretching the upper body can be pretty intense, at least for me, so it's really important in this practice to stick with your breath, focus on those even inhales and exhales, and know that you can take those audible sighs out the mouth whenever you need to if you feel too much tension or heat building in the body. Take one more inhale here. We stay for our exhale. And then on your next inhale, you come back through center, reaching the hands behind you once more, maybe tilting that head back one more time ever so slightly. This is really intense for me. I've got a tight throat apparently. And then take those clasped hands over towards the left low back or the left side body if you can get them there. And from here, just gently take that left ear rather, towards the left shoulder if you'd like. And this will intensify the stretch in the right side of the neck. Find your breath and hold. Take one more inhale here. Stay as you are for your exhale. And then on your inhale, press the fingers behind you one more time. And then go ahead and release the hands, bring them to the knees. Let that stretch settle in. Notice how the neck feels. Notice how the shoulders feel. Notice how the throat feels. Maybe send the head back one more time. Beautiful. And then we'll take that into a twist. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. And on your exhale, gently twist over to the right side. So the right fingertips tent behind you and the left hand comes to the outer right thigh. Really focus on keeping this twist in the torso and only gaze back at your right shoulder if it's comfortable in the neck. It's okay to keep your gaze neutral, facing the same direction as almost your belly button or your left middle finger is facing. Imagine you're squeezing out a wet rag as you squeeze that torso, twisting, and all of that water that would drip from that wet rag. Imagine that it's tension releasing from the body. Take one more inhale here. Stay for your exhale. And on your next inhale, keep the left hand where it is. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky as you face back through center. And then take the right hand across the left arm. Grab onto the opposite knee. And just create that C curve in your spine, tucking the chin to the chest, really pulling the belly button in to create that protraction in the spine. And as you're here, you'll feel this not only in the backs of the shoulders, a little bit different from that first stretch we took. You'll also feel this in the back of the neck, the upper back, maybe even a little bit of the low back. Just finding some release here. Holding, letting go of tension for 3, for 2. On 1, take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, lift up nice and tall. And on your exhale, twist to the left this time, tabletopping the left fingers behind you and bringing the right hand to the outer left thigh. Again, only take your gaze back behind your left shoulder if it's comfortable. I like to keep my gaze neutral here. Again, I'm someone who holds lots of tension in the upper body, and I really just want to focus on releasing and not creating any more tension than there already is. Staying here, twisting through that torso again. Imagine that wet rag, squeezing, letting go of tension in the body. Take one more inhale in your twist. Maybe you twist even a little bit deeper on the exhale. And then on your next inhale, come back through center with the left arm and the torso. Keep the right arm where it is. And then cross that left arm over the right. The left hand grabs onto the right knee or thigh. And then again, you tuck the chin to the chest as you gently fold forward. If you want a little bit more intensity, you'll really squeeze the hands into the knees. Imagine that you could press the knees together. You'll feel that even more in the shoulders. Lengthening through the back of the neck, the upper back, maybe even the low back here. Again, just taking a moment in this seated pose to let go of tension. Just for 3, for 2. On 1, slowly let it go. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, bring the hands back down to the thighs. Take a minute with your eyes open just to Notice how that feels in the body. These stretches are really tiny, but they can be really intense and really powerful. So I always like to take a moment of pause just to notice what they kind of do to my body here. So we're gonna go ahead and come onto a tabletop position here. And from your tabletop position, we're gonna take this into a thread the needle. So when you're ready, I like to take my knees a little bit wider than my shoulders. I'll keep my feet underneath right as they are, actually, almost like you're coming into a wide-legged child's pose. That was a really roundabout way of saying that. Keeping the left hand planted, reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Feel yourself open up through the body, through the front body, through the torso, through the right shoulder. And when you're ready, take that right arm underneath the left, come down to the right shoulder. And you have options here as you press down into the right shoulder, your right ear rests on the ground. Maybe you walk the left fingertips forward. Maybe you tent the left fingertips, adding in that stretch in the left shoulder. And maybe you even take a half bind here, taking the left fingertips up to the sky, and then taking them behind you to grab onto the right wrist crease or whatever you can grab. And as you press down through the right shoulder, really focus on opening up through that left shoulder. Again, this is really intense, but we breathe through it. And start to make your way out of this stretch the same way you came into it. First, walking the fingertips out long if you did that, and then taking the left hand underneath the left shoulder and slowly coming up, reaching the right arm to the sky. And from here, we'll switch sides. I'm going to move a little to the left for space reasons. And this time we plant through the right hand, lift the left fingertips up to the sky. Open up here, feel that left shoulder open, feel the front body open, and then thread that left arm underneath the right, come onto the left shoulder. And from here you can stay. Again, you can walk the right fingertips out in front of you, tenting them, finding that space in the right shoulder. Or if you want that bind, you'll reach the right fingertips up to the sky and then grab the left hip crease or whatever you can reach. And as you press down into the left shoulder, focus on opening up through that right shoulder. Breathe through this stretch. Watch the tension leave your body with every exhale. And then when you're ready, come out of the pose the same way you came into it, reversing the steps. And then eventually the right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. If it's not already there, you press into the right palm and reach the left fingertips up to the sky one more time. And then come back to your tabletop position. This time, do make sure your knees are stacked right underneath your hips, and we'll come into a puppy pose, keeping those hips still right over the knees as you walk the hands forward. And when you feel like you've come to your maximum range of motion, you'll very slowly start to melt the chest down to the ground. Maybe the chest touches, maybe the chin touches, maybe the forehead touches. Maybe nothing touches, and that's okay. It will be a little bit harder to hold yourself up here, but you have your best tool, your breath. So breathe in slowly and exhale slowly as you stretch out the upper body in this puppy pose. We will stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Come back up through your tabletop position. And this time, rather, we'll stop when our hands are slightly in front of our shoulders. We're just going to take one downward facing dog here, lifting the hips up to the sky, finding a little bit of inversion here, letting the head and neck hang heavy, not letting any tension creep up to those shoulders. Remember that your shoulders are not earrings. Press them away from the ears. And then to get one more shoulder stretch in our downward facing dog, go ahead and bend both of the knees generously. Send the chest to the thighs,
Ooh, you'll feel that in your shoulders right there. And then if you'd like, from here, you can start to straighten through the legs. Try and keep that chest as close to the thighs as you can. And then when you're ready, take it down and we'll find a child's pose. And since we are focusing on letting go of tension in the lower body, find a closed-legged child's pose with the arms long behind you, palms facing up. Bring the forehead down to the ground. And letting the shoulders round forward. Getting a nice release in the low back as you rest here. And from here, we'll come into a rabbit pose. So go ahead and grab the heels with the hands. Come on to the crown of the head, getting the forehead as close to the knees as you can. And then straighten through the arms. You're in this little tiny ball here, pressing down into the crown of the head, stretching out the back of the neck, stretching out the whole back, really. Even getting in the arms here. Just holding for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Gently let go. And from here, we'll come into a Sphinx pose, bringing our forearms to the shape of an 11, and then lowering the belly button down to the ground. If there's any tension in the low back here, I'd like you to widen through the legs. The more you widen the legs, the more comfortable this should feel in your low back. And in this Sphinx pose, really focus on pressing the elbows towards the body as you press the chest out towards the biceps. Okay, just keep your gaze neutral. No need to really look forward. You're kind of looking forward like at a diagonal at a 45-degree angle so that your cervical spine is nice and neutral. Just about right past your fingertips is probably a good gauge. Staying here for just a couple more breaths. And then from here, we must take a scorpion pose, one of my absolute favorite stretches for the shoulders. So go ahead and come all the way down onto the chest, lying on the front body. Bring the right fingertips right underneath the right shoulder. Send the left arm out long, and as you start to roll onto that left shoulder, you'll pick up the right leg, and maybe you step it behind you. Nice deep stretch here. Opening through the left shoulder. Again, this one is really intense, so I encourage you to stick with your breath. There are amplifications here. If you would like to take that right hand and take it behind you, maybe interlace the fingers. Like I said, I'm feeling super tight today, so I'm going to stay just where I am. To modify this, you can always decrease your range of motion, start to come back towards your belly, even if it's just a little bit, and you'll start to feel that stretch get a little bit less intense. Maybe you even stack that right leg just on top of the left instead of coming into that full foot pressing onto the ground. Let's just stay here for another 4, 3, 2. On 1, we slowly come out of it. You can stay exactly as you are. For space, I'm going to flip it to the other side. You can do the same if you're working near a wall. This time my left hand comes underneath my left shoulder, and then my right arm comes out long, and I start to roll onto my right side as I lift the left leg and press the foot into the mat. I'm always really scared about taking this posture on this side because my mic is on the right side, so I'm always fearful that it's going to just turn off on me. So that's why I keep looking down, but I recommend keeping your own gaze neutral. Same modifications and amplifications on this side. Take what you need, leave what you don't. We're breathing through this posture for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, slowly roll back to your belly.
And then when you're ready, take your time getting there. Just meet me in a comfortable seat. Same place we started class. So we usually end our class with Shavasana. We're going to end with a different kind of self-love today. So go ahead and take the hands to a cactus shape. Open up through the heart. Allow yourself to be open to the release of stress and tension in your life. And then go ahead and from here, take an inhale, and on your exhale, just go ahead, cross right arm over left, grab opposite shoulders and give yourself a hug. Tuck the chin to the chest. Really give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Show yourself all of the love and kindness that you deserve. On your next inhale, open up to that cactus shape one more time. And this time we'll cross the opposite arm on top. Again, grabbing onto opposite shoulders, giving yourself a hug. In this nice cozy hug, take one final inhale. Stay for one final exhale. And slowly let go. Thank you all so much for sharing this practice with me today. I hope you're feeling a little bit lighter in the upper body here. This is a great practice to come back to or to just take bits and pieces from throughout the day. Some of these stretches you can really do anywhere. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with a friend or a family member, and comment below to let me know how you liked class and what you'd like to see next. Follow me on Instagram @CalmWithCarlin, and I will see you next time. Namaste.